Hello everyone, welcome back to Tea and Lit. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my December TBR. It is significantly shorter, I think, feels shorter than all of my other TBRs so far this year. Two of the books I do not have on hand. I will be getting them from the library. So let's talk about my December TBR. First book on my list is the final book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I've been reading these since, I read The Hobbit in September with Tolkien along through, with a frolic through fiction and Book's Nest. So this last book is The Return of the King. So I will be reading that in December, and there will be a full vlog of the whole of Tolkien along. So I'm kind of excited to reach the end of this story. The next one is The Taming of the Shrew, which is going to be our Shakespeare read for this month. This is one of his great comedies that has a lot of parts that aren't funny. So I look forward to reading this and getting like a little bit of an evaluation on that. So this will get a full walkthrough later this month. The next book is the one that I'm most excited about, and that is Beowulf. I have the translation from Seamus Heaney. I low-key am obsessed with Beowulf. It has literally everything I need in a story, including but not limited to that it was originally written in Old English. And you get the Old English translation on the left side of the book, and that is just so much fun. So this is our group read for this month. I'm very excited to read it with you guys. It tells the story. It's a Anglo-Saxon epic from 1,000 years ago, and tells the story of Beowulf, who is a great warrior, we'll say. Very excited about that. The next book, okay, so the next three books are modern books, and I just want to talk about how I have had a very classics-focused, for the most part, I've read a couple of modern books, but a very classics-focused last quarter of the year, and that is mainly because the point of this channel is to be intentional about reading classic literature, and how I read a lot of modern literature before starting this YouTube channel. So, that being said, all of the next three books are modern books. One of them, I'm not proud to say I loved it, but I do. And that is A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. Now, before you click off this video, I understand. I have read the whole Throne of Glass, well, I don't want to say the whole Throne of Glass series. I didn't read the novellas. For the Throne of Glass series, didn't love it. The first book I read of hers was A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I was like, this is a really good book. And then I read, right after that, I went into A Court of Mist and Fury. Is that right? Yeah, it is. And I fell in love with the book. Absolutely fell in love with A Court of Mist and Fury. I can't even tell you how much I loved it. I finished that book at 2 p.m. At 2:15, I was calling the bookstore and telling them to put a couple of copies, The Court of Wings and Ruin and A Court of Frost and Starlight, on hold behind the desk for me, because I was driving over there as soon as I could. I absolutely loved A Court of Mist and Fury. I did not love A Court of Wings and Ruin quite as much as I loved A Court of Mist and Fury, but I knew when I got to the end that she was writing another series, and there was a novella as the transition between the two. This was at last year. Now, there was no release date for the second series, and so sometimes, because I have a difficult time finishing things, I don't read the last book in a series because then I feel like I'm in control of it and it's fine, rather than the author and the publishers being in control of the fact that I can't read the book that I want to read. So I finished A Court of Wings and Ruin and just let Frost and Starlight sit on my bookshelf. And then I found out from Brittany the Bibliophile, I think, that January 2021, the next book comes out. So I will be reading A Court of Frost and Starlight. I have this grand idea that I'm going to reread the whole series. That's probably not going to happen. I may just reread A Court of Mist and Fury because that was my favorite one, but I will certainly be getting to Frost and Starlight since I haven't read it. So there's that. The next two books I do not have copies of. I will be getting from the library, and they are The Invasion of the Tierling and The Fate of the Tierling by somebody, Johannesson. Erica Johansson. Johansson? I don't know. I grabbed the first book of this series, The Queen of the Tierling, earlier this year and really, really liked it. It tells the story of Kelsey, and when she turns, I think, 18, she's been living in a cottage in the woods with like these sort of adopted parents who are her caretakers, who are there to prepare her to become queen in the future. Her mom is the sitting queen, but she's kind of incompetent at her job. And, you know, the day comes when her mom passes away that Kelsey then has to ascend the throne. But she's been raised in the woods, in the cottage, to protect her from court chaos and politics and all these things, but also to prepare her intellectually for the moment when she's going to have to become queen of the Tierling. Tierling is the place. And I really liked the first book. I thought it was really well done. I enjoyed Kelsey as a main character. I thought she was a very powerful woman. She was enjoyable to read about, and to read her thought processes on things and like kind of how she navigates things. It is a fantasy novel. Don't know if I said that. So does, in case you don't know, so is this. And so I really liked that about the book. And I got The Invasion of the Tierling just before quarantine. And I don't know about you guys, but like my head was everywhere but in a fictional novel during quarantine. And so I gave it back to the library because I was like, there's no sense in me hoarding it in here for nothing. My library was closed for the first 6 months of quarantine. And now there's like this modified library process. Doesn't matter. Not important. The point is, I gave it back to the library, but now I want it back because I will be finishing the series. Turns out there is at least one novella and another series coming also next year. I think it was January 2021. And so I do want to get to the end of that. Now, I didn't know about the novella. I think it was a novella. But I wonder if that's because my library doesn't have it. The reason I have not purchased these books yet is that I will wait whenever possible to read the first 2 books of a series before committing to buying it, because very often I will really like the first book, but I don't love the second book. And if it's something that's like a longer series, like 7 books, I will probably read. If I love the first 2 books, I'll buy it. If I love the first one and meh on the second one, because sometimes the second book in a series is not fabulous, I'll read the third one and then decide. Once I have 2 books that I really like in the series, I will buy the series. So I have not finished The Invasion of the Tierling, so I don't know if I really, really love the series or if I just really liked the first one. So we'll have to see. If I really love The Invasion of the Tierling, then maybe in my winter book haul, you will see the whole Tierling trilogy, maybe the novella, and maybe the new book. I don't know. We have to see. Anyway, those are the books I'm hoping to get to this month. The Return of the King, Beowulf, The Taming of the Shrew, A Court of Frost and Starlight, Invasion of the Tierling, The Fate of the Tierling. The Return of the King is going to be part of my Tolkien Along vlog, so you have that. Beowulf will have its own series of videos, playlist of videos, including a discussion with Keith. And then The Taming of the Shrew will get a full walkthrough. So we have to come up with a better name than walkthrough for our Shakespeare reads. But yeah, that is our December reading plan. We'll see how it goes. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye! That was a weird outro. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye! That was better.